long before the modern cities of today, when great kingdoms ruled the lands of West Africa. The mighty Benin Kingdom stood as one of the most powerful empires in the region. Its red earth roads stretched through busy markets filled with traders, craftsmen, and warriors. At the center of the kingdom stood the magnificent royal palace of the Aba, the King of Benin. The palace was a place of power, decorated with carved wooden pillars and famous bronze plaques that told the stories of kings and heroes. But within those walls, a story began that the kingdom would try to forget. A story about a princess they abandoned. And the day she returned. One quiet night inside the royal palace, Queen Idia gave birth to a baby girl. The palace servants rejoiced. Drummers began preparing to announce the birth across the city. A royal child meant hope. A royal child meant the future of the kingdom. The Aba himself stood proudly beside the queen, looking down at the newborn princess wrapped in bright coral-colored cloth. "She will be strong," the queen whispered. But before the celebration could begin, the palace priest rushed into the chamber. His face was pale. "My king," he said nervously. "The spirits have spoken." The Aba frowned. "What do they say?" The priest hesitated before answering. "This child will bring great danger to the throne." Silence filled the room. The queen held the baby closer. "You must be mistaken," she said. But the priest shook his head. "The spirits never lie. If this child remains in the palace, the Benin throne will one day fall." The king stared at his daughter. For a moment, he saw only a small innocent child. But then he remembered his duty. He was not only a father. He was the ruler of an entire kingdom. And fear can make even the strongest rulers make terrible decisions. Before dawn, the Aba secretly summoned two royal guards. "You will take the child far into the forest," he ordered. "Leave her where no one will ever find her." The guards were shocked. "My king, she is your daughter." The Aba turned away. "Do as I command." That same night, the guards carried the newborn princess out of the palace. They passed through the great gates of Benin City and rode deep into the surrounding forest. The trees grew thick and dark. Finally, they stopped beside a massive iroko tree. One guard looked down at the child. "She deserves a chance to live," he whispered. The other nodded. So instead of leaving her to die, they wrapped her carefully in warm cloth and placed her safely beside the tree. Then they rode away. Back in the palace, the kingdom was told the princess had died during the night. And slowly, the kingdom forgot her. But fate had other plans. That same morning, an elderly woman named Mama Osoro walked through the forest gathering herbs for medicine. Suddenly she heard a baby crying. She followed the sound until she reached the giant iroko tree. There, lying on the ground, was the abandoned child. Mama Osoro gasped. "Ah, who would leave such a child here?" She picked up the baby and held her gently. The baby stopped crying immediately. The old woman smiled. "Perhaps the spirits brought you to me." She carried the child back to her small village. From that day on, she raised the girl as her own daughter. She named her Eweri. Years passed. Ewer grew into a brave and intelligent young woman. She helped the villagers farm the land, carried water from the river, and learned the healing arts from Mama Osaro. But there was always something unusual about her. Sometimes, when she was angry, strong winds would rise suddenly. Other times, strange lightning appeared in the sky above the village. The elders whispered among themselves, "This girl is touched by the spirits," they said. But Mama Osaro only smiled. The spirits have their reasons. Meanwhile, far beyond the borders of Benin, danger was rising. A powerful warlord named Chief Og had gathered a massive army. He had already conquered several nearby territories. Now he had set his eyes on the greatest prize of all, the throne of Benin. His warriors marched toward the kingdom like a storm. Villages burned. Refugees flooded into the capital. At that same time, far away in her village, Yuer's life was about to change. One evening, warriors attacked the village. They were the symbol of Chief Og. Houses burned as villagers ran in fear. Yuer stood in front of the attackers, refusing to move. Something powerful awakened inside her. The wind roared around her. Thunder cracked across the sky. With a single movement of her hands, a powerful gust of wind knocked the enemy warriors backward. The villagers stared in shock. That night, Mama Osaro finally revealed the truth. "You are not my daughter," she said gently. "You are the lost princess of the Benin Kingdom." Yuer could hardly believe it. "The king abandoned me?" Mama Osaro nodded slowly. "Yes." And as the night wind moved softly through the village, Yuer realized her life would never be the same again. But far beyond the village, a powerful army was already marching toward the Benin Kingdom. And the girl who had been abandoned would soon face the destiny the spirits had prepared for her. But that is a story for part 2. If you want to know what happens next, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss part 2 of this incredible story.